And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to get this off my fucking chest.
Do we need therapy?
Yeah. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top. Right about now, we're gonna take it from the top.
Oh, one. Yeah. My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and it's a no for show.
I have a bone to pick with you. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to get this off my fucking chest. I waited to the podcast.
Why did you wait? Why didn't you just call me?
Because I needed it to be known to the whole world.
I understand.
And this is what it's like having a podcast. Like you want to tell each other something and you're like, nope, got to save it for the podcast.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
That's really healthy for a relationship.
yeah. Therapy.
Yeah.
I would like to let them know the backstory.
Okay.
My favorite song that Jamie has is called Sellout. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's a good
See,
song.
you're looking in the camera.
I know, because I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. Mind your business.
Okay, I'm just going to go. You wake me up when this is over.
Yeah. So when I go to Jamie's concerts, the ones that are here, she never plays Sellout. And it's my favorite song. And she knows it's my favorite song. So her and I had a private conversation. And I had said, anytime I come to your show, can you please just play Sellout? And you said yes. And I said, you promise. And you said yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Backstory. One of my biggest things in the whole land is you don't break a promise. Or I'll break you.
Mosquito!
Yeah. So anyways, I go to her show in Ottawa and I'm so excited to hear Sellout live. And she doesn't play it. And then she comes up with some bullshit fucking excuse to say we didn't have time.
Way to tell the story.
We didn't have time to add it into the set list. So I said, okay, there's always the Toronto show. Make time. And she said, I'll see what I can do. And then I get to the Toronto show, and then she doesn't play it at the Toronto show either. So now I'm hurt. And yeah, you said that you couldn't fit it in to the set list. This, that, and the other.
So many reasons,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So then this is where the story gets good. Carly and I go to Girl in Red, right?
She plays Sellout.
I'm sure she would for me, yeah. So we go to the Girl in Red concert, and mid-performance, she was like, do you guys want me to play this song or this song? And the audience decided. Mm-hmm. And she quickly, just like that, put it in, right?
Yeah.
And played the song.
So I can do that too.
No, the point is that your band knows Sellout. You know Sellout. You can sing Sellout whenever you want. You don't have to put it into your fucking set list. You literally can choose, guys, we're going to play Sellout. Or Matt, or Darius, or who the fuck ever, play Sellout. And you can.
So it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work that way. So let me explain why. Love that you brought this up. Fuck you. Here's why. So when you're like doing a set on like what we record on, we're recording on Ableton. When you do a set, you throw all of the tracks in, and then there's this program called Set List, and then you choose what set list you want to play, but you can trigger different songs. So sometimes, like in South Africa, we played If Anything's Left like 17 fucking songs, or 17 fucking times. So I could just start playing it. The problem isn't that the problem was that I didn't have Sellout in the whole session. So, like, we didn't have it in the session that I could even trigger it. So, like, if we were going to play it, it would have to be acoustic, but, like, we physically weren't ready to do that.
You don't know how to play Sellout acoustic?
No, well, I can't play anything acoustic.
No,
so
you know how to sing it,
But
though.
I know how to sing it, but, like,
And Matt and Darius don't know how to play it.
We've never practiced it. So the time to try was not at my first sold out headline shows. That was not the time to try it so that you weren't upset with me. So I had to like weigh out my options for a quick second. I went with the latter.
Okay. I can respect that. Yes. Moving forward, don't ever promise me even give me your word if you are not going to be 100% and follow through with it. Even if you are 90% sure, say, I don't know, but I can try.
100%. Or I'll say it like I'm 90% sure, but I can't promise anything. Mm-hmm. My thing was that I was so like, okay, we'll figure this out. So like, no.
Did you even try?
No, 100%. And like when I was going through the set list, like myself, because I do that first, like on my own. Whoa, pun intended. I have a song called On My Own. But I actually think about that myself, and you know also all the other personal reasons why I don't like singing Sellout.
Don't get me into that one, because there's another song that you play.
What is it? Sunset.
No, there's another one.
No, that's my personal reason.
It's I think it's your encore song.
I wish.
No, is it Ain't Easy that you play?
That ain't easy.
I don't give a fuck.
No,
Don't give
Ain't
one
Easy
fuck.
is different than Sellout. Sellout technically flopped, and Ain't Easy was probably still, maybe not now, my most streamed song.
morally,
Yeah, I feel like
Okay,
a lot of people know
morally,
you specifically
for
for
if
Ain't Easy.
for Ain't
It's a
Easy.
bit
But I'm
different
saying
of
the
it.
reason that you play certain songs
But
and not
Sellout's
others.
way more emotional than Ain't Easy is. My point being is that there absolutely are reasons emotionally why I didn't play it or why I don't like playing it. In this regard, what I should not have done was say, it's not that deep, but what I should not have, no. Like, I'm not saying in terms of how you feel about
very
it.
deep.
I'm saying that, like, I shouldn't have made it seem like I was 100% going to do it, because I did put an effort into doing it and it just wasn't going to happen. I also didn't communicate to you that it wasn't going to happen when I knew it wasn't going to happen.
led me
I just
on.
let you be, not only
led
did I
me
lead
on.
you on, I let you be disappointed throughout the entire show when you probably thought, it's going to be next. It's going to be next. And every song, it wasn't there.
It
And
was never.
I remember the Toronto show looking at Mercedes in the crowd and she was like, she was so pissed.
I literally, I have a video.
But I heard
Of
you.
you.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, you were pissed.
you played Sellout at the concert in.
One of the first shows you went to. Yeah.
Yeah, that
So
was
why
your
was it
first
okay
show that,
then?
kind of
It was my
back.
first show
not-
back, so I didn't have enough released music. So there's physically wasn't enough songs to fill a set. Also, like, so it's funny because Sellout used to be one of the only songs that I couldn't figure out the key to it. So as soon as it would start, I would get confused by the key and we'd have to restart the song because I would start singing the wrong key. So there's so much shit. It's bad juju. This song is bad juju.
I'm gonna change that.
How?
My
You
energy.
gonna sage it or what?
My
God,
energy
yeah, your
is gonna
mom can
change.
come and bring the
My
sage.
love for Sellout will change
Maureen
the
on
juju.
I know.
I love that.
Roll the tapes.
Speaking of set list, for your South Africa tour, did you play like the same set that you played here?
Yeah.
Like,
Because
it
they
was
haven't.
exact same?
So usually, like when people go on tour,
I mean, plus 2 new songs.
yeah, because we put Your Like and Seconds Away in it because
Oh my
they hadn't
God,
been released,
fun.
right? But usually when like artists go on tour, it's like the same set for the entire tour with like a couple of differences. Maybe if you're in like a special city or like you want to throw in an acoustic moment or like something special.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, you like practice that set with the band and then go into it, and that's why it was harder to like just throw in an extra song. Which like I will pride my band. They are so fucking incredible and they can play anything like right off the jump, truly. But it's not them I'm worried about, it's me that I'm worried about.
Right.
I found the video.
Okay, amazing.
I mean, sorry for the audio listeners that you're not going to be able to see it.
Why don't we just throw it on the screen?
I'm going to.
Oh, amazing.
But they will, if they're only listening to it audio wise, they're still not going to be able to see it.
All right. So
But
should
we will
do the
put it
same-
on here.
Should we do the same thing we did the other episode where we should just pause for 10 seconds and nobody talk and we put the video up on the screen?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. So pissed off. Oh, I can't sing in that clip. It's the first problem. I'm real flap.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I'm really sorry, and I love you, and I know how important a promise is to you, and I think that for me, I share that same, but with like deep things, and I realize for you, it's like right across the board.
Even if I said like
Yeah.
like anything in the
Yeah.
world and you said yes, I promise.
that means something to you. I'm really sorry.
Thank you. Love you.
Are you guys gonna kiss and make up?
We'll sword fight and makeup.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anybody else have an issue with me they like to bring up?
I want. No,
Like I've been waiting.
no. It
Now
was
I've been
kind
waiting
of still
for
like
this
on
moment.
the tour thing. You made a post when you got back from South Africa.
I feel like I already know where this is going.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, not about you not loving us and being part of your
okay.
team. Not
Oh,
that.
that one, okay.
No, you had talked a bit and left a little Easter egg saying that you were like struggle with tour, and I didn't know if you want to
That was an
have a
Easter
little
egg?
therapy session.
What was the Easter egg in it?
Oh, you said I
I
struggle with tour.
That's funny. It's not,
not an
not really an
Easter egg,
Easter egg.
you're
I'm
actually
just
very
saying
Aren't you
one.
just an Easter bunny?
You
Yeah.
said very bluntly that you struggle with tour, and I think it's so crazy because like obviously growing up, like I don't want to speak for everyone, but a lot of people are like, oh my God, I want to be like a fucking singer on stage performing and touring the world. Like you look up to all these artists and like at some point or another you wish that was you. Like you want like this career is like idolized, right? And then it's so interesting getting it from like your perspective, like an artist who tours the world and like does all these things and like you actually have a very hard time with tour, and so it's just so crazy, and like I just find it so interesting when you talk about, you know, all the things that are like not like it's not what
People
they
don't see
seem.
that part.
People don't see the,
No, of
the back
course.
behind
It's
it.
not. It's very like tumultuous. It's not it's just really stressful. Like there's not really a better way to and what's crazy is that Vic has been on tour with me now a couple times. And it's like such little sleep. And then for me, when I don't sleep, I get sick. And so I'm so worried about getting sick the entire
Yeah.
time. So my whole day is me trying to stay as level and calm as possible so that I can sleep that night. Because if I let myself get amped up, whether it's too excited or too angry or this and that or the other, then my heart palpitates at night and then I can't sleep. So it's about staying calm the whole time. It's about making sure the team is working well. It's about like balancing letting everybody else do their jobs, but also knowing that I'm technically the leader of this team. You know what I mean? The only part about tour that I love is some of the press opportunities because I love like meeting like in South Africa, like meeting the people on like South Africa was the first country that outside of Canada that played my music on the radio. Like my song went double platinum there before it even went gold in Canada. And so
crazy.
it was like such a first for me that I've been dreaming about literally since the beginning of starting this, and to go in and meet radio people who like did that for me was like one of the best feelings in the world. So some press opportunities are incredible, and then being on stage for an hour and a half, 2 hours, fucking incredible. Everything in between is so taxing, and it for me, because I struggle with mental health anyway, it just adds so much pressure and stress. And I'm actually kind of thankful that like Vic has been able to come on and like see it, because it's so hard to explain until you experience it. So yeah, I suck at touring. I will always suck at touring. My band and I, we always laugh saying like we're all kind of shitty at touring, but we get through it together. But at the end of this specific tour, I'm so emotional, as you all know. But we were in Cape Town staring at the ocean, and like I'm an ocean person. Like whenever I need to feel calm, like I love being in a body of water.
Because you're a Cancer.
Because I'm a Cancer.
No, it
and
is.
no,
There's this,
yeah, and I find it really soothing. And I was staring at the ocean, and it's such a cliche, but like you're staring into the abyss. Like it's so many unknown things and this and that and the other. And I was like, oh my God, like what an accomplishment. But until that second, I wasn't able to like appreciate what I had just
Take it
had.
in, yeah, or like live in the moment.
Yeah, because I was so, I had to be stressed and I had to worry about this and that and the other. And there were fires to put out and whatever it was, that like I had a job to do. And then at the end of doing that job, you get to realize how emotional what I do is and how rewarding it is. And I get to experience that with people and people that I care about closely, but also people that I've never met before, right? I met all these fans that I had, that are literally across the world, who's like, communicating with me that the music means something to them. That's everything I've always ever wanted with what I do. So it's such a special thing. it's also one of the most mentally taxing things. And I set boundaries on like how long I can do it for, because people go on like 2-year tours.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
was literally
wild.
just thinking, like, Taylor Swift has been on tour for fucking like.
God bless her.
17 years.
Yeah, I think she said she just had like her 87th show.
Stupid.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, when do you breathe? Like, because all she does is like literally fucking fly around the world 24/7. And I'm like,
And like, sorry, it's so
crazy.
crazy that she had time to go to the Super Bowl.
yeah, how do you even make it there? How do you
amazing.
even
She
make
came
it there
from-
and be present?
Asia.
Well, she came from Asia.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
literally fucked.
I think like it's different too, because when you're at like my level, which is very far from Taylor Swift, like
Not in
she
South
has
Africa.
her. Not South
Yeah,
Africa,
you're literally the
No.
Taylor Swift of South Africa.
yeah. Sometimes it feels like it, but you know, she gets to fly on a private jet, and like I hate when
That-
people come down on her for like the carbon emissions that you're. Fuck you. If you were Taylor Swift and you had to fly with a whole bunch of people who would be fangirling her all the time, you would fucking get on a private jet too.
Yeah, and you would also
100%.
when do you get to rest?
Yeah, no,
If
exactly.
like people are constantly fucking swarming.
So,
you.
like,
She
I don't
literally-
judge
she
her
would
at
burn
all.
out.
No.
So she gets to fly privately. She gets to travel far more luxuriously than we do. And so that all helps, right? Like on the days where I can fly versus driving, that helps me a little bit. When you're staying in really nice accommodations versus not great accommodations, that helps a little bit.
And she
so,
probably doesn't have to problem solve.
no, she has a team
Yeah.
completely
You
to
know,
do it
she
for
just has to
her.
go on
So
stage.
true.
She
Yeah.
I don't even know if she sound checks. Like that's the thing is I don't even I think when you're at that level, a lot of people have people who sound check for you, and then you trust them because they've been doing it for so many A-listers, right? So it's like all these things that you don't think about that like I'm not at the level where I can do that. I don't know if I'll ever be at the level where I don't have to do what I do now. It's just different, you know? It's just like it's very different once you surpass a certain line. It's like, oh, this is a little more luxurious and it's kind of bougie. But other than that, it's just like genuinely hard work, which I'm not afraid of and I love. It's the mentally taxing part that I'm never going to get used to.
Do you think when we go on tour for the podcast, it'll be different, or is it going to be a very similar touring situation? Like, how do you think it'll go?
I feel like it'll probably be pretty similar in terms, because like we will have to do press, we will have to do sound checks, and then we'll have to do a show.
The only thing that's better about it is that, so like there's something called like backline. So when I have like a tech rider that like we send out. So when we're playing Bronson Center here in Ottawa, for example, we have a rider that we send saying we need this tech, and they have it there. And so we don't have to travel around with it. With our setup for the podcast, we need 4 fucking mics and a PA.
Yeah, that's it, which
So
is
everyone
nice.
will
so
have
minimal.
that.
And like sound check is literally
We could do it 5 minutes before if we wanted.
Well, yeah, like we just have to make sure the mics work.
That's literally it. And then like running the theme song that we come out to. Like that's literally all we have to do. Isn't it a nice thing to
Oh
picture?
my god!
Did
Every
you get
time
giddy?
we think about it, yeah, I get like
Right
the
about now
rumblies
we're
in my
going to take it to
tummy.
the top. And
Right
that's just
about now,
walking
yeah,
out, you
take it
know?
from the top.
So it's a quite easy setup. I think that also like we'll have a great team to be able to like just take care of everything else. It's the logistics that are typically like get everyone. It's like how do we get from point A to point B? How do we travel with the dogs? What are we doing?
my
Are we
God.
driving? Are we flying? Are we taking a tour bus? A tour bus I think across Canada is like
So
$46,000.
expensive.
Yeah, it's we
That's
like
only like
planned it.
10,000 each, though.
46
If we go across.
grand.
Yeah, but if
for-
you're not making
But we're
that
making
money,
3
right?
pesos off of a show.
Yeah.
Wait, you said what?
It's 10,000 each. No, but think about that. Like, if we're making money per show, like, remember we did the math.
Yeah, but that was not the size of a fan base that we have.
Yeah, that was 400
people.
people.
It was 400 people shows.
Yeah, but it's also like
Wait, no.
I don't remember
Oh,
what the
understand.
room sizes were, but realistically the
We're
thing
like, we're
too
gonna be
is
making $1 million a show.
yeah, we wanted to dude does the math right now. I think it's the thing is like it's accommodations too, and it's thinking about all the out of pocket expenses that
Yeah.
you don't think of.
Per show.
That's
If
not
if
Per
it's,
person?
That's how much
no,
we would
that's
make.
per show.
no, per show.
Yeah.
That's
So
not.
if we
but
did
maybe.
10 shows.
But there's like
But
venue costs.
This is the thing too. Is there's venue costs. There's this, that. There's all these
agency
things.
fees.
There's SoCan thing because if you're playing any music, you have to pay SoCan. Like there's these things that people don't
which
think
is so
about.
nice because we own our theme song.
The music, yeah.
Which is great.
And that's all we need.
But it's like I think the thing is that it's never easy touring with people. Like you have to rely on other people's emotions. You have to rely on other people to show up. You have to rely on everybody to be on time. Like if you guys were all waiting in the car and I was 5 minutes late and that happened every day, probably you'd start getting pissed off. And like I guess I've mastered the like I'm in my era of just use my fucking words. So like as soon as I have an issue, as soon as something pops up, I don't allow it to become a pattern of behavior. I just address it right away and say like, is this something that you can change? And then we have a conversation about it. And then if they can't change it, that's when I'm like, okay, let's have a deeper conversation. But I let everybody. So like if something was pissing me off that you guys were doing, I'd be like, hey, can we not do this anymore? And like see what happens, and vice versa. I'd expect the exact same vice versa. So I'd hope that like communication would be not an issue.
I
with
feel
us.
like we're like getting really good at communicating, the four of us, and like especially when it comes to the podcast and like even like the daily posts, like you posting every day and Jim being like, if there's a day when it's not posted at 4 to 6, like we're gonna talk about it. And like we just like don't really let anything linger or build up. And I feel like being able to talk about it in the moment will make for a successful tour.
I agree. I think it's like space. I think like healthy space is really important. We all understand decompression time really well.
Oh yeah.
And we all
Big
are pretty
decompression
selfish in like
guys.
healthy ways with that like there's so many times where I'm like, everybody fuck off. And that's a healthy thing to do. And I think we all do it and respect each other when we do it. And I think as long as we have that, fucking great. It's hard in a tour bus, but
I'm just picturing the dogs on the tour bus. Like what the literal, how would we even do that?
That would not be fun.
Oh my God.
That would not be fun.
exhilarating.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Do you think it would be fun?
Haley.
No, not on a tour bus with dogs.
No,
not with dogs.
Jax, realistically, Jax could never come on tour. Like we would be bringing.
No, I would.
Jax
He'd be way too anxious.
to Haley.
Oh,
the
in Florida.
amazing,
Maybe we could do our first,
amazing dog trainer.
our first show there.
First show in Florida.
That would be so. I mean,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
we have to
so
be very
fun.
particular about where we go, but yes.
Yeah, we'll go to Miami.
Orlando.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Haley's actually so cute. She literally sends us like videos every week of her watching the
nice.
podcast.
Yeah,
That's nice.
No, she should be like wake up in the
I love
morning.
Since
that.
the
She'd be like-
beginning, she'll literally first thing in the morning, like send.
Haley, why the
she's-
fuck haven't we met?
I know.
You guys
She
would
lives in
love
Florida.
her.
No,
Yeah,
Haley and
no
Mel are
doubt you
fucking
are.
Because she lives in Florida.
my babies.
My
Yeah.
parents have a condo in Florida. We'll
Where?
come visit. Punta Gorda.
I don't know that. Where is that from? DeBerry.
I don't know if you
I don't
should
know where
say.
Where she lives.
It says right on her Instagram where she lives.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
there you go.
Well, she doesn't. Sure.
What's your
If you
SIN
ever need a
number?
dog trainer, Candy 9 KN
Candy.
KND
Oh.
9 K9 training. KND, huh?
Okay, if you're in the States, go there. If you're in Ottawa, Husky Standard.
Oh yeah.
Look at us big dog people.
Wait. Now I'm insecure.
Candy K9 training.
KND K9 training. Sorry. I had a little stroke for a second.
You're doing great.
Yeah, she's the trainer that saved Jax's little life.
Yeah, big life.
I think
Jax's big life. Speaking of Jax's big life, Jax got very sick when you guys were gone. And we literally thought that he was dying right in front of us. And it was actually the scariest thing that we've ever been through.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell the people.
So basically, well, first of all, Jax was sick a couple days leading up to like his big episode. Because
Oh, I didn't realize he was feeling unwell.
Well, he was like
because he ate a soccer
vomiting.
ball.
Oh,
He ate a fucking soccer ball.
Well, that was when we were gone.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, so basically he ate a soccer ball, which we didn't realize. Usually when he like rips stuff apart, he just spits it out. He's like never a swallower, always a spitter.
God bless.
Just
Apparently
like you.
he decided to switch it up that day, and we didn't realize he swallowed almost the whole outside of a soccer ball. And then we were like, oh fuck, the whole soccer ball's eaten, but he was acting totally fine. This was on Friday, okay? So all day Friday goes by, he's fine. All day Saturday goes by, he's fine. We're not thinking anything
Like he's
of
got
it.
a stomach of steel.
Yeah, literally. We're like, oh, this guy is perfect, right? Sunday, we wake up to like, you know, the fucking like dog,
Yeah.
The best alarm clock
horrid
in the
sound.
world.
Yeah.
That will wake you up right out of your
Yeah,
sleep.
that should be
dog
your fucking
puking.
alarm
I
clock.
know,
so you
that's
know
what I
wake up
said.
to it.
truly, yeah. Oh my God, fucking off myself if Jax threw up every day. But anyways, so we wake up, he's throwing up, and it's all the soccer ball, like full pieces. Sorry, this is so graphic, but it's just
Like chunks of soccer
chunks
ball.
of just soccer ball, nothing else. And we're like, oh fuck. But then he stopped throwing up and he was fine. So and he was acting, his energy was totally normal. Like he
still wanted to eat.
yeah,
Like he
wanted to play. Like he was fine. So we're like, okay. Then he's fine all day, eats all his food. He's good. Next day we wake up to him throwing up again. Still more of the soccer ball. We're like, okay, now we need to call the vet because this is fucked. So we called the vet and they were like, yeah, well, as long as he's throwing up the soccer ball, like he's literally fine.
Yeah,
If
it's
he's
only
still,
an issue if he's throwing up nothing.
Yeah, or if he's like
But
not
if they're
eating,
throwing up
not
material, then it's
drinking,
fine.
or he's like really lethargic and like he's acting weird. But she's like, if he has no other issues, he's fine. We're like, amazing. The guy was perfect. He's a perfect guy. So we're like, okay. Then fast forward a couple days later, he's feeling totally normal. We spend like such a fun day outside with him. We like take him for a nice walk, and then we are like playing with him in the hose. And
It was the first like hot day. Like it was like 20 degrees, but super sunny.
So then we were like playing with him. He was like jumping in this little kiddie pool we bought him, just having the fucking time of his life. And then we come inside, and we're probably not even inside for like 20 minutes from being outside. And then all of a sudden, he was like laying down, and then all of a sudden he gets like super scared and he comes up. I'm sitting on the chair and he's like trying to come up on the chair with
And
me.
nothing's happening. We're just sitting on our phones and he's like dead asleep.
Yeah.
And then he just gets super anxious out of nowhere, wakes up, and he's like a ball
panicking.
of anxiety.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So he comes over and he's sitting on me, but he's like pushing himself into me like he's never done before. And as he's pushing into me, I can feel his
And he was
body's
like panting like crazy.
trembling. Yeah. And he was literally going crazy. And I could feel his heartbeat. And I thought he was about to have a heart attack because his heart was like this.
Jesus.
Like I've never felt a dog heartbeat.
my
Like you could
God.
see his heartbeat through his like fur. Like it was the craziest fucking thing. And so I'm looking at her. I'm like, babe, something's wrong with him. Like this is not, because he gets anxiety. He's had panic attacks before. Like we've seen him shake, but this was nothing like we've ever experienced.
So I call him over to me and he like scoots. And he's also kind of weird and submissive, and he
Yes,
does that weird
yeah.
scoot. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but he like scoots over to me, which I feel like isn't normal. He does that with strangers and he does that with other people, but
And
he
he
doesn't really do it
scooted
with
the
us.
whole way, too,
He scooted the
like-
whole way, and he seemed like he was like wincing.
Yeah. Like
And then I'm sitting and I'm like,
scary.
are you okay? Like whatever. And his heart was beating super fast. He was panting, and his legs were literally, his whole body
like
was shaking.
his paws on the ground were like this.
all,
Like his
all four
legs
of them,
looked
he was
like,
like
wobbly.
shaking. And then we were just like staring at him, and I'm like petting him and I'm looking at him, and then all of a sudden he starts peeing uncontrollably, and he's
doesn't
never
do that.
pissed in the house.
Submissive
He's submissive
pees,
pees,
but this was like
or
a
excited
full-
pees,
like, he was
but he
just
was
coming
full
out.
bladder pissing everywhere while he was just sitting, and I was like, what the fuck? So I immediately stand up, like we call the vet, whatever.
And also at this point, his eyes are like glazed over. He doesn't even look like he's like not really being super responsive. Like he was kind
we tried
of
to give him ice, his favorite snack. He wouldn't take
wouldn't
it.
take the ice. And we are like, oh, we always said that. We're like, if there comes a day when Jax is refusing
Refuses
food or anything,
Or a
we're
treat.
calling the vet immediately.
Yeah.
And
he,
that
he
was
would
like the
never,
moment.
like he was vomiting his brains out and starving. He just wanted to eat. Like dogs normally are like,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
he never refuses any kind of thing that's edible.
And like, yeah, like his eyes were super glazed over, and he was like his
Not
eye-
home.
not home. Like
Bless you.
Sorry.
So then yes, and I call the vet. I'm literally like fucking crying on the phone. I'm like, please, can we like bring him in? And this is like our regular vet that we go to. And she's like, I'm sorry, like we're all filled. Like you have to go to the emergency vet. So I call the emergency vet, the one closest to us, and then they're like, we're filled too. So then the next nearest emergency vet is an hour drive away. And Jax is like, oh, also he's like still peed. He peed 3 more times at this
He was
point.
laying on the ground, laying down, pissing.
Laying down,
just
just
laying
what the
down. And
fuck?
like, it was crazy. And then I was like, okay, so I ran. I took him outside to go pee, and he peed for 45 seconds after he had just been uncontrollably peeing. And then I took him out, and he was literally for so long peeing, but then he started walking and just continued peeing. Like he didn't stop peeing to walk. He was walking and peeing. It was really weird, like
Yeah,
super,
it was so
super
weird.
strange.
So then anyways, we get in the like, cause we're like, okay, fuck this. Like he needs to go to the vet. Like something is seriously wrong. And his eyes were still like fucked. So we get in the car. I'm sitting in the back with him. You're in the front seat. We're driving. And then as we're on the way there, it's an hour drive, I like FaceTime our trainer because she knows so much.
Yeah.
And she like, I was like, I just need to talk to someone that fucking knows dogs. So I call her and I show her Jax and she's like, he looks so fucking unwell. Do not let him fall asleep, because he was like, looked like he was on the brink of being like unconscious. Like he was like his eyes just kept kind of like closing and he looked so disoriented.
But he
was
also never
panting.
slept that whole day. And normally he sleeps
He,
a
like,
lot
has
of
naps,
the day.
yeah.
Yeah, but he had such a busy day. He was out in the heat and he didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
But then he was pushing into Carly so hard and he was like this.
Like he looked like he was
Like he was
dying.
just, like it was fucked.
And his heart at this point was still beating super fast. So in my mind, I was like, he's literally going to die on me before we even make it to the vet. Like I was literally freaking the fuck out. And I mean, obviously pet people know, like the second something is wrong with your animal, you are like, this is my fucking child.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the fucking anxiety that goes through you is insane. So I would say like 30 minutes into the car ride, he starts like perking up a bit. He starts like acting a bit more normal. And we were like, okay, we're obviously still going to bring him to the vet regardless, because that was so scary. We didn't know if he was having a fucking seizure. We thought
Yeah.
maybe he was going to have a
and
heart
my
attack.
previous dog was like epileptic and
Yeah.
I would like hold him while he would seize. And some of the symptoms were like similar. I was getting so triggered. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if
He's
is
having,
having a seizure.
So then, yeah, we get to the vet and then they bring him right in, but like immediately this fucking bitch. And I feel like emergency vets have a habit of not being as great as like your regular vet because they just deal with so much. I feel like they're not as like compassionate with your animal and like bring your animal someplace where like the vet knows them. Like I feel like you're always just treated a bit better. But this bitch was so fucking rude and condescending, and like just her attitude towards us and Jax the whole entire time. Like her and
Didn't say
Mercedes
hi to him.
didn't say hi to him, wouldn't
Didn't interact with him at all. Like nothing.
wouldn't go near him. And then also it kind of got like, I wouldn't say heated between you guys, but there was like obvious like tension between you and her, and you guys were kind of like,
We went back and forth a lot because I
Wow.
was just, I won't put up with anything like that. Like the stuff that she was saying, like
everything we were telling her about Jax, she was basically saying like, oh, so like what food do you feed him? We were like, oh, we feed him Lifetime dog. She's like, I would never feed my dog that.
Okay, well, that's not fucking helpful
I'm like,
right
he
now,
literally
Jessica.
almost just died. Like, why the fuck are you saying shit like that?
and also it was like we were talking about how we had him outside and whatever, and it was 20 degrees and sunny, and she was like, I would never bring my dog out in the day past 20 degrees. She's like, if you touch the sidewalk and it's warm, they don't go outside. And I was like,
That's not
no,
what
you're
it
going
is.
to take your dog out for a walk in the day. And she's like, you should do early mornings or only evenings. And I'm like, it was 20 degrees.
It wasn't like fucking.
It
I
wasn't
understand
30,
if it's fucking 28 or 30
literally
degrees,
in the fucking
100%.
UV and like
And
you can't
also
breathe
we had
outside.
him
And he
in
was
the
in the
cold
water,
in a
and the
cold
grass.
water pool.
He wasn't on pavement.
Yeah.
But he's a black dog. So I was like, maybe the sun was what kind of got him, whatever.
Yeah.
But still, it wasn't like we had him in dangerous conditions.
Yeah.
Right.
And
She also was
made
just
us
in
feel
LA,
like-
just in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like she was like kind of coming at it as if like we were so negligent for playing with our dog outside. We were like, what the fuck? He had the best fucking day of his life. Like, shut the fuck up. But anyways, even if that was the reason, like if it was heat exhaustion, I feel like you don't speak to people like that. Like we were clearly upset when she first came in. I was literally like crying. Like it was such like an upsetting situation in general. So like her attitude towards the whole thing was so fucked up. And then what really fucking got me was that we had said something about, because they kept trying to bring Jax in the back. They're like, oh, we're going to bring him back and do tests. And we're like, well, you know, he has a lot of anxiety, some like behavioral issues. Our vet will do the test when we're there. Like, well, he can do blood work. We literally just hold
I've
Jax
held
and they'll
him
do
like
blood
up
work.
while he's gotten blood work, everything.
They don't, our vet will just accommodate him and like accommodate his needs and like behavioral issues. And she was like, well, we're better than your vet. Like we're
Yeah, she's like, we know more than your vet.
How, you don't even know what vet we go to. Like she was just so
that's why I got
fucking
in like a
rude.
little like bicker with her, is because she, like, we were talking and she wanted to put a muzzle on Jax and bring him to the back, and they're like, we're not doing anything unless he has a muzzle on, and we bring him to the back. And I was like,
this is after you said the behavioral issues thing.
yeah, but
because
we literally said he's fine with our vet, he's fine with strangers, he's fine with people. Like he just acts like that towards us. We have him like in train, or we got him like professionally trained, and he's extremely manageable, and we know his triggers and what aren't his triggers, right?
Yeah.
So we were
gonna
not saying he's a fucking risk. We were not saying he's like aggressive, nothing. We just said he has some behavioral issues that are completely under control, and we know what triggers him.
Yeah, but like putting him in a situation where he's like super stressed out in the back, where you guys are fucking like prying at him and like stepping into his space, like that will not set him off, but that will make him highly anxious.
And that's what I said.
very
I was like, I
fearful.
don't feel comfortable putting a muzzle on him and bringing him to the back because he's already stressed about being here. Anything you need to do, you can do to him, and I can tell you what you can and can't do with him,
Yeah.
right?
And also, sorry to cut you off, but we also said if you want to sedate him, if you don't feel comfortable doing the test, come and sedate him and then take him. Like, we,
And they
we've
refused
literally
to
had
sedate
him
him without like
sedated
the muzzle
before
or
with
anything,
us.
right? So the point being was, I said, okay, before I decide to do all this, I said, can you give me a list of things that, with all the symptoms we just gave you, what could it be? What are some things that it could be? Refused it. She's like, well, we don't know. We would have to test this, and this. I'm like, so you have no idea out of the symptoms. She was like, so if you went to that would be like, this is what she said to me. She was like, that would be like if you went to the doctor and he wanted to examine you and you told him, no, I don't want you to examine you. And I was like, that's not the same thing, because I gave you a list of, if I went to my doctor and gave him a list of symptoms, he would be able to tell me it could be this, right? Obviously,
You
I
never
know they
know
need
for
to
sure.
examine you.
Yeah.
But you could give me options of what the possibilities are.
Because they
And
also
she
wanted
refused
to
to-
run like hundreds of dollars of tests on him, and we don't even know what
Without
they're
a
testing
zero
for.
possibility of what it could be, right?
Of course, yeah. That's I guess every fucking test with dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then she was like, the things that we could do would be like to feel his stomach. I'm like, you can do that right here. You don't need to go to the back. You don't need to put a muzzle on him. You can feel his stomach. He will let you feel his stomach. And then we basically went back and forth with the muzzle thing. And we decided that we weren't going to take him to the back or put the muzzle on him. And she's like, okay, so you decided to go home?
She's
And
like,
I was
that's
like,
what you're doing. You need to, like, you're sure of that. Like, you're literally, by saying that, you are not getting your dog like treated here. We're
and
like,
then I was like,
what the fuck?
well, at our vet, I was like, I just wish you could tell me some options that it could be. Because I'm like, at our vet, they'll accommodate us. They'll come out here. They'll do blood work. They'll do whatever. They'll literally interact with Jax, give him a treat. Like, they'll treat him like a fucking dog
Yeah.
and not like this liability, right? Like, it was just insane the way that they were acting with him. And then that's when I was like, yeah, like our vet will accommodate us. So we're not going to do anything here. Like, we'll just talk. I was like, I asked if we could speak to the vet, and then we spoke to the actual vet, who was nicer, but the vet tech was awful.
She would not come. She wouldn't even look at Jax in the eyes.
But then the vet wouldn't either. The vet literally refused.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
The
yeah,
vet refused to like touch Jax, anything. She was like, she made us do the examination on him. She's like, she wouldn't even flash the light in his eyes. I'm like, you're a
gave
vet.
me
And
the
that's
flashlight.
because she was like, if there's no muzzle, then
Yeah.
we won't do the.
She wouldn't even flash a light in his eye. So she passed it to me and I had to do it. But
Wow.
that's the part that pissed me off, because I'm like, I understand.
You work with animals.
Not even that we
But
work with animals.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
like, we have a dog with behavioral issues. We are certainly not the first nor the last person that is going to come in here with an animal with behavioral issues. And it just pissed me off how they couldn't even accommodate any of his needs. They're like, oh, you're not going to do it this exact way. Like, this exact way does not work for my fucking dog. And it just made me realize that like Jax will just always get a lack of care because of his behavioral issues. And so it was just like fucking hurtful when like literally an hour before we thought he was about to die. And now these people are like,
They want help.
and it's not even like, it's, I mean, obviously it's like what they were saying, but it's just like how they were saying things, how they went about it. They treated him like he was a fucking beast. And I just felt like it was,
But that's not the
just
kicker.
saying.
The kicker is that when we got home, we received an email of his whole chart where they wrote everything down, right?
Oh yeah, I remember you saying this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I read it when I woke up, and in bold letters, she said that our dog was whale-eyed, cowering, hiding, like showing signs of aggression, visibly uncomfortable,
might bite.
in bold letters. Not once, we were with him, not once was he whale-eyed. He was laying on the ground. He was anxious because he was at the vet, obviously. He
Yeah.
was like walking around, but he
was
was not
pacing.
whale-eyed. He was not like acting like sus, nothing. May bite. I was like, that's insane. So that's why the vet probably came in being like, I don't
Yeah,
know, because this
yeah.
girl wrote that, like all that stuff about him. And I was like, he was none of that. He was being so good. And he was like, anytime we had to do something for him, we would put him on the chair, we would do it for him, and he would just he was like like anxious.
Yeah, like he was just panting.
Yeah.
And so it really was just like a fucked up, eye-opening experience that like Jax will just never receive the same level of care unless we literally traumatize him. And he
Do you
can
think
put
it
a
would
muzzle
traumatize
on.
him though?
Well, no, we can. He is muzzle trained. Okay, like we've been muzzle training with him since
It was
we
under those
started with Haley.
circumstances.
It was
where he had just went through that, like what might have been a huge panic attack, right? And then driving an hour, getting him to the vet, and then doing that. It was just too much.
Yeah. And like it just pissed me off that they wouldn't even sedate him to do all these things. Like literally just
And you're willing to pay for it. Like, you're willing to pay for
I literally
it.
said sedate him. I don't care, but like please don't do these things on him when he's awake. He's going to be literally traumatized. And we also had our trainer on the phone and we were telling her, we were updating her the whole time. She's like, do not let them take him to the back and put a muzzle on him because that will make all of his
Because then they have no
training
boundaries. Once there's a
regress.
muzzle on your dog, they have
They'll
no boundaries with
they'll
them.
do
If Jax doesn't want to be
whatever.
touched somewhere, like, oh fucking what? Like, there's just and
They
it
just- they
takes
don't
back
care
the
'cause
training because he needs to build trust. Obviously, he's a dog that is very different, and so
Yeah.
yeah, the second they have a muzzle on him, they would just do whatever they wanted, and I don't want them doing that, unless it's absolutely necessary. Because I asked, I was like, "Are you concerned?" And then they said the same thing, like if he's eating, drinking, going to the bathroom, whatever, they're not concerned. You know?
Okay. Okay.
So that's why officially we decided to leave, and
I
and then
understand.
they were
Yeah,
like,
but we
if-
only did that because he had started feeling better, and we were like, okay.
Yeah, he was acting
Right.
completely fine after that. Like he had his
and he
like
hasn't had
20
anything
minutes.
since. So I wonder if it was heat stroke.
Yeah, like a heat like
don't know.
situation.
Which
But
like,
it was
you guys
weird.
are careful. Like it's not like you guys aren't careful. It just happens.
But
you
the
know?
weird thing is that we had told her about the heat, but then she told us this doesn't sound like heat stroke when we were there. So that's why we kind of ruled it out. But then I was talking to one of like this guy that I know, or I guess this girl had messaged me pretty much saying like, oh, this guy that we know, his dog is like a black lab. Something very similar happened to him last summer, and it turns out it's because like their coats are black. It's like
Yeah.
the sun is a lot harder on them, so it's like
Yeah.
even if it's like not as hot outside, it like can affect them differently. But yeah, it was this whole fucking thing, and we were just like so irritated because we just felt like they like did not want to care for him, and then also to come in and like lie. Like we offer up the information. We didn't just say he didn't have behavioral issues because they would have treated him. If we didn't tell you he had behavioral issues, they didn't even ask us if he had, they would have
They
just
didn't
went
ask
and-
anything about his aggression.
we
at all.
offered up the information because I was like, oh my God, what if this is like something to do with his like genetic issues or brain? Like I was just offering up anything I could to try and help. And then it like
Yeah.
bit me in the ass. So
Well, I think that part makes it even worse when they say, well, I'm better than your vet. Well, you don't know anything about this dog.
Yeah, and my vet will come out here and do all of this stuff on him. You know what I mean?
They
like
love
they're
him at
confident
home.
and comfortable.
I wonder if on their end it was like, and it doesn't sound like it was, so it probably wasn't. But I wonder if in her eyes it was like, we just want to like figure out what's wrong with your dog to save him if something's happening. So this needs to happen in order to do that. And then was just being a raging bitch. Like, I'm sorry, but when two frantic people come in to, yeah, let's be honest here, most dog owners treat their fucking dogs like their fucking kid.
probably better than kids.
Yeah, honestly. And so like, yeah, like the communication way of doing things, like to be candid, I can't imagine the two of you, if she had come up to you and said, listen, we've had bad experiences here where a couple of the nurse, I don't know what they're called, vet techs have been attacked. We do not take precautions, but we are concerned and we want to check your dog out. Is there a way we can put, like, even if she communicated like that and made you guys calmer, maybe that would have, and even saying like, we will take good care of him in the back. We understand, blah, blah. Maybe at least you guys would have been a little bit more open. But the fact that she was a royal fucking bitch, not calming two parents that are seeing their son in distress get absolutely fucked.
That's
it was the
literally-
point where we're frantic, wondering if he's gonna die, and she's like, "I would never feed him that."
Great.
We're like, you think that's the least of our
And then she was
fucking
like, "You should
concerns
feed
right
him."
now.
She literally was like, "Pedigree," or she said something fucking stupid, and I was like, "Huh?
I'm like,
Are you well?"
dumb? No, it was fucking.
Yeah, it was fucked.
It was just awful.
The
And I'm
handsome
like,
guy.
how the fuck would you ever expect us to trust you with our fucking animal when this is how you're treating us?
Yeah.
I'm like, we are like beings that are able to like speak back to you and like speak up to you. I'm like, you're gonna take Jax in the back. You could do whatever the fuck you want to do to him, and we would never know.
Yeah.
And he could never talk to us about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude.
get fucked. But Anyways, moral of the story is that Jax is totally fine now. We hope that never happens again.
Yeah, I will not.
And yeah, my feelings were just really hurt and it made me so sad.
Okay, send me the address.
The craziest thing is that like after we got home, I literally just had like a full mental breakdown and I fully was just sobbing because it just like made me realize how much I love Jax. Like
Yeah.
regardless of like our struggles with him, I'm like, wow, like I need this fucking boy in my life. And when I
Yeah.
thought I was losing him, I thought I was gonna die with him.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
bet.
oh well, it's our time to go. Let's go. Like,
We'll go together.
yeah, me and you, buddy.
Wow, fuck you, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, baby. That's
Oh,
how I felt at the
dude.
moment.
Well, I'm glad that he's okay. It won't happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on the popsicle wood. Knock on your dick, yeah. Oh, you want me to... You're welcome. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, the sweet boy. Well, I'll give him extra kisses tonight and extra ice.
Owning pets is so fucked.
Remember
So
when
they-
Jasper had a tick on his face and we all had
Yeah.
to hold him
No, that
while
was
you guys
traumatizing.
ripped out a juicy tick from his eye.
Eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim
Literally
was like
right in the brow.
fucking calling the emergency vet. It was like so frantic.
Yeah.
Vic was like, I can't hold him, and you were
Yeah.
like,
Because
I know.
Jasper's the squirmiest little fucker you've ever met.
Yeah. On top of the fact that it was probably outrageously uncomfortable for
Yeah.
him, but yeah.
Like that. I mean, that's
Also
the main
just being
reason.
like
But he's also
circled by
just squirmy.
6 people.
Yeah, we were
And
all,
he
like,
was, he was
hovering
like,
over
what's
him.
happening?
Tweezers.
Yeah, like going at his eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, with the
But
Now
I
he has
just
a little
like,
scar.
I think I mean, I wanted a dog since I was I've always wanted a dog. And then we had a family dog. And Tandu was hilarious and amazing, but like kind of an unsatisfying dog. May you rest in peace. But like, he just like was an unsatisfying dog. Like he didn't cuddle. He was very just like, can you just fucking leave me alone? Like I'll let you know when I need something from you, and
Yeah.
it was food. So like, yeah,
Jax.
or to go pee. So like, it's just like it was just like, okay, I love this dog. And then when we had to put him down at the beginning of the pandemic, and I felt ill because
that recent?
yeah, because
Oh.
we just like I think I used him. I relied on him still as like an emotional support thing. Like whenever I was stressed, I would go to my parents' place, and like I didn't live with him the last few years of his life, but I would go over and like cuddle him to the best of my ability. And I wanted a dog so bad. And when I got Jasper, it's because I knew that I could like afford to take care of him if something happened. I was in a better place in my life in terms of like being responsible enough and knowing that I had to walk him to make him survive and like this and that and the other
To make him survive.
to make him survive. And now he's like obviously such a huge fucking part of our lives. And you see like how frustrated we get with him often because of his behavioral issues towards other dogs. He's such a like people's dog, but he just hates other animals, as you guys see.
Isn't it funny that our dogs are opposite?
I know.
Where Jax is a
Literally
dog's
opposite.
dog and Jasper's a people's dog.
Yeah, you lose some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll switch one day. Anyway, I am not able to picture my life without. I'll like literally. I think he's turning 4 this year or whatever it is, and I like literally look at him and I'm like, I only have like 6 to 10 more years left with you, and like just start like crying randomly for no reason.
Yeah.
What do we do?
So fucked up.
Shall we play a voice note? I forgot we were
yes.
podcasting.
Yeah,
I know.
me
I
too.
was just thinking that. I was like, wait a minute. That whole time we were fucking.
That was a 40-minute
yapping.
conversation.
I also like fully forget the first half of this episode.
I was just Jamie and I fighting.
Yeah, it was just
Oh yeah.
Right.
You guys
Murph
fighting over
calling
that.
me out for my
I
shit.
forgot.
That's what I'm here for, baby boy.
So we got this voice now.
We held hands the majority of that episode.
I know.
It was kind of nice. I love how natural it is now.
It really is. I was actually thinking about that when I was staring at you, and I was like, the progression of how badly we need to just like even
Yeah,
right now,
we're,
like my
like, touching
my
each other.
feet are on
Yeah.
your thighs.
Thick thighs. Thigh. You don't like that word?
No, but I feel like in the play the note.
Do you want to continue?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if this is that crazy, but I was in this situationship for like 6 months, and she was cheating on her girlfriend with me but she was like justifying it, saying that her girlfriend was cheating on her too. So I was like, yeah, fuck that bitch. Just cheat on her with me, you know? And then, you know, saying that she was like abusive, and I was like, just leave her, be with me, yada yada. Anyways, they broke up, and she still did not want to be with me. So then I matched with her ex on Hinge. So yeah, we went on a date, and then I started dating her. It turns out none of that was true. It was all just a lie. But yeah, I dated my ex's ex.
Hey, whoa! Don't say it turns anyway. That's a huge
Yeah,
part of the
isn't that a
story.
crazy part?
Yeah,
Crazy
None of it was
plot
true.
twist.
It's giving
Yeah.
coolie.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's fucking crazy.
Wow.
No, how fucking psychotic is
Lesbians
But
are
also, like, the
fucking
most lesbian
nuts.
thing I've ever heard. She's dating her ex's ex.
that? Dude, let me show you my reply to her, okay? I literally wrote, not the XX, and not the ex's ex. That's so fucking gay of you. That's the gayest shit I've ever heard.
Dude.
Why does
Literally.
every fucking lesbian date their ex or like date someone who they fuck? Or it's like
Yeah.
the circle is so incredibly small. Like,
I also dated my ex's ex.
Yeah, crazy.
wait, who? Oh,
Haley.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, you don't have to say her name.
Why? Who cares?
Oh.
Is that defamation? No, it's true.
Oh.
I remember,
Defamation.
but it was like me. So me and my ex broke up, and then she started dating someone, and then I was scrolling on Tinder, swiping on Tinder, and I saw her, and I was like, I'm gonna swipe right for the plot.
For the plot. For the podcast.
For the plot.
For something
For
to
the
talk
plot, yeah,
about.
for
and then
4
I
years later, the podcast.
I swiped right, and it said it's a match. And then we were talking, and we were like, ha ha, we share an ex, and it was supposed to be all jokes, and then we ended up dating for like a year and a bit.
Like a whole ass relationship.
That's a relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on Tinder for like a day, and the first person I matched with messaged me saying, "Loving you ain't easy," and then
And you said,
then
nope.
I left.
And then
Tinder.
That's why you should have. Doesn't matter now because she found the love of her life.
Yes, yeah.
But Raya, is that what it's called?
Yes, I was on Raya.
Raya. Oh
You
yeah.
on Raya?
Yeah,
Anyone interesting on there?
not in Ottawa.
Did you match with anyone?
Charles
fun?
McKenzie.
Like give some names. Give some
No,
tea.
honestly, I don't. Like, I could download it again and see, but
Oh my god, should we all swipe?
I would prefer that we didn't.
But just for all of us
It's
for
just
fun.
but it's just for the plot.
for
the plot.
It's
No,
just for the it's
I'm
just,
good.
It's just business. Strictly business.
I feel like no, nobody exciting. I also like was never like in LA when I used it. I like went through the whole because you have to get accepted to use it, and then I didn't see one like famous person on there. It was all like business people, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was the point of this.
I feel like so many people thought they were gonna find famous people on there, so everybody fucking downloaded it, and whoever got accepted was just like
Yeah.
some random person.
Yeah.
hoping that they're gonna fucking find Shawn Mendes on there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which Shawn Mendes, I doubt he would ever be on.
No, I think he was on there. I think I remember hearing that somebody
One
had
of the
seen him.
Jonas Brothers were on it.
Like they definitely used to be on there, but I think because people
Damn
know
it.
that now,
Yeah.
nobody famous wants to be on it because
Yeah.
that's why
Also,
people
I
are
know
there.
so many people that like don't have like platforms or anything. They're like, oh, like I want to be on Riot. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, I thought it was only for like.
I think it started out
Celebrities.
like it was genuinely for celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
or like, yeah, in every field, like a lot of sports people,
Right.
But like, I think they eased up on their like acceptance process, that it kind of like defeated the purpose, and then everyone thought they were so cool if they were on Raya, so it was like,
Yeah.
okay,
and
that's not
now
the
it's
point.
just like lost.
trying to
It's-
find love, and then I found it.
Look at
Not
that.
on Raya.
Full
That's
circle.
so true.
Yep, in
On
my
Instagram?
DMs.
Yeah.
In my DMs.
Oh, it was Instagram? I thought it was TikTok. Oh.
Nope, it was on Instagram.
Yep.
I've only met like maybe like 2 or 3 people from like dating apps. And the rest of the people I met in person.
Good for you.
But I need to tell you guys, this is like so irrelevant to what we were talking about, but I need to tell you how I met this one guy because I actually think the story is like kind of crazy. So I was out with my friend one night, and then she was like outside talking to this guy, and they were like having a cigarette, and then I was literally just standing with them having like literally just fucking chilling. And then he was talking to us and he's like, oh, 1 second, like my friend's calling me. And also keep in mind, this guy like was not cute at all. That's like very important to the plot. So he like answers the phone and then he's like talking to the guy, and I was like so drunk and I was like, wait, let me talk to him. And so I just grabbed the phone and I start like talking to this guy, and we're just like chatting what, like, I don't even remember what we were saying. And then basically I was like, okay, like we talked for like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pass you back to so-and-so now, bye. And he's like, wait, like where are you guys right now? And I'm like, we're standing here. And he's like, okay, stay there, I'm taking like a cab to where you are, I'm gonna come meet you. Like he's like, I just need
Romantic?
He's like, I feel like I just need to meet you. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, right? And also like his friend was not cute, so I was not thinking like
He was gonna
anything
be,
of it at all, right? And then I passed the phone back, standing outside waiting, and then it was like a fucking movie. Like the car pulls up so slow, he like gets out, and I was like looking around, I'm like, no fucking way.
He was cute.
So cute. And I was like, what the sorry, babe. Sorry.
I wouldn't be mad if I didn't know who this was,
Murph
but
hates the story.
But I was like, oh my, okay, I've literally told you that I've found him very cute, and I've told you this. Like, it felt like a fucking movie, and I was like, no way, this is my life, right? And then, yeah, we ended up like seeing each other for a few months, and it was kind of like this whole thing, and
Crazy.
yeah, but I was like, wow, like
That
at the
is
time,
crazy.
I was like, this has to be the love of my life. This has to be like the story we
Cinderella
tell at our
moment,
wedding.
yeah.
Yeah, it was not at all, but I just thought it was like such a funny. Sorry, baby.
The way I looked over and Murph was
Because you still know him?
But you never met him. I
No, I
just
don't-
told
never
you.
met
though.
him.
Oh, you just.
some things
Um,
that don't make me pleased.
okay.
But Carly was.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Just kidding.
Not the
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But isn't
Have your
that a
back
cute
completely.
story?
that is pretty crazy.
It is cute.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet anybody on a dating app?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
I'm from a very small town. There was quite literally nothing else to do.
The Boondogs, right,
The
babe?
Yep.
The
Out in the
Boondogs.
Boondogs.
We should start a fucking book of all the fucking shit.
Honestly,
What
we
did I
could
say?
come up with Carly's dictionary.
That's so funny. I have my one friend who is, we always say she's like ESL, and like she has a fucking book of all the words that she says wrong. And I always made fun of her, but now I'm that person.
You're it. You're it. Your turn.
Fucking dead.
All right, well, cheers, queers.
Yes, we're not your therapist.
Baby. Do you want to kiss?
No,
Do you want to kiss? Do you want to hug?
I want you to kiss Vic.
Would that make you less
You can't
mad?
say no
Are we
because-
fighting though?
It would make me less
Are we-
mad if you
are
and
we
Vic
fighting?
kissed.
Are we fighting for real?
No,
You have to say yes, but
we are fighting.
you have to say yes and done
Yeah, we're fighting until you kiss Vic. Yeah, I'm mad at you until you guys kiss.
Vic, please, I need to have a good night. I'm like, Vic, please.
Nice. Whatever. We'll get drunk tonight.
Still fighting.
I'm gonna pour
Okay, wait.
tequila.
If we kiss right now, with Vic's consent, we won't be fighting for real?
Problem is getting consent.
You're not allowed to fight for a year.
If you guys kiss,
I will fuck
If you make out and scissor right now, we'll take a year break.
Well, what?
nope. Kidding. She was kidding.
What did you say?
It was for the plot.
What was for the plot? Tell me.
Spit on
I
the
said,
mic. If you kiss and scissor.
if you make out and scissor, then we'll just take a year break. This way we don't fight for the year. We'll just take a year break. If you guys make out and scissor. If you guys make out and scissor,
Rambling? You're rambling?
you
Oh,
should
no.
make out and scissor
You should.
for the plot. Don't you think? For the plot.
Let us know in the comments what you want.
Next week's episode.
That's the day.
You heard it here first, folks.
Sorry for audio listeners.
Yeah, that was
Cheers,
really-
queers.
I'm
Lock and
done.
done.
I love you guys. Goodbye, clowns.